It was the best espresso martini I've ever had. We are back with our fun guest, Super Dave.
Super Dave. Dave is our number one fan.
Number one fan.
We're on the way home like a true alcoholic. I saw Taco Bell. I was like, man, pull in the Taco Bell.
Really? I'm nosy. I want to know all the things.
Let's get into it.
So my mantra in life is, I'm not going to be out hustled by a crackhead.
I think really and truly, if I felt like I do today, 5 years ago, I don't know if I would have retired.
Do you believe in the Illuminati?
Kind of do.
Welcome back.
Hello, hello. Happy
Welcome
Tuesday.
to midweek January.
I know.
These 2 next months are going to have to, you're just going to have to push me along.
Really? You've got some fun stuff planned.
I do have fun stuff, which is why they're strategically planned. But January, February for me, even though it's my birthday,
they're
not my favorite.
Okay, let's talk about your birthday for a second because I'm actually really kind of excited. So in my, me time when we were up in Traverse City this past weekend, my family went to the hockey game and I was like, oh, I should let the dogs get used to being in the Airbnb. You guys can go to the hockey game. So I took the dogs for a big walk and then that Burrett store is like right, do you know what I'm talking about? It's like on North Front Street and it's like an awesome like meat counter, seafood counter, and they have like just great stuff and a big wine section. So, and before I left, I was scrolling on TikTok and this lady was like, my family's gone and this is my favorite time. I'm going to watch all my Bravo shows and have my favorite snack. And she had a salt and vinegar kettle chip with creme fraiche on top and caviar. Now, when I say caviar, I'm not talking about like beluga whale eggs that are $5,000.
What's creme fraiche?
Creme fraiche is like a whipped cream, not sweet. It's almost like a whippy sour cream.
Okay.
If I were to, but it's like fancy and whipped and you have to like get it like super fresh or make it yourself. And then she just put a little bit of caviar on top. So when I was there, I'm like, well, maybe I'll do this, So I went and they had everything, but like the caviar, it was black lumpfish. I mean, it's not like, it's just fish eggs. Like you've had that on like sushi and stuff, before, right? Yeah. It's just a little salty and they like pop in your mouth. Yeah. And I love them. I think it's satisfying, like when they like pop in your teeth and stuff. So I watched Younger on Netflix.
Okay.
And had my new little snack of salt and vinegar chips with.
Did you watch the whole series all over again?
Yeah, well, I started watching it all over again.
Is it because Sutton, Foster is dating Hugh
not Hugh Jackman? No, so when that show was actually on, I loved it. Like, would wait every week.
It was so cute.
It's so cute. So then when Netflix launched it, and it's here you go. Here's every single episode and every single series, and they're short. They're like 25 minutes. True. So I started watching the whole thing over again.
Nice.
Yes. And, kind of have all the same feels. But the funny thing is, having been to New York more, now I get really excited when I'm like, I totally know where that's at. Like Marie's Crisis. Yeah. So, super fun. So, so now I have my new snack. But anyways, back to your birthday. Totally went off on this whole other tangent. So I'm like, I know that you're coming home from Napa. Randy has to work. So like, I'm going to do like a little girls' night at my house for Miko's birthday. How fun is that? And then I found this, like, I guess it's a game, but it's a box and you have to solve a cold case. I'm setting up a whiteboard in my house. I'm going to get you.
I have a portable one. I can bring it.
So we're going to have like string, tacks, magnets, whatever you need. And a couple, I've checked with everybody. Ladies are coming over. And I'll tell you who's coming later. But it's going to be so fun.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay. Right? That sounds like a perfect birthday.
Right? Wine, fun appies. Maybe I'll even have some of my little chips, creme fraiche and caviar.
I would love it.
I mean, black lumpfish, it's $8 for the little thing. Yeah. But Chris kept going, caviar dreams. Look at you and your caviar dreams. I'm like, it's not like I'm getting whale eggs here, friend.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Fun.
It's a great little treat. And yes, for your birthday.
Okay.
So fun.
Yay. So how else was Traverse City?
It was
a beautiful weekend for you to be there.
It was. Like Saturday the sun would come out. It had just snowed. So it was like beautiful, fresh and white.
Yeah.
I will say for some of the high traffic areas, they didn't really shovel the sidewalks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was kind of
surprised.
shocked. Even like stores not taking care of like the snow out in front of their place.
That's surprising because it's such an active city that for those of you who don't know, Traverse City is a town up north, which is Darling.
Yes.
Darling.
And it's gotten way more
really,
popular in
yeah.
like the past 10 years, the past
Very
5, it's
touristy.
exploded. Yes. Well, and they have that big horse show in Williamsburg, I think. Just north of Traverse City. I mean, people fly in horses from all over the world.
Oh, okay.
And I'm $1 million purses if you win. I mean, it's big time.
Oh, wow.
So, but yeah. But I would say for middle of January, Saturday night, we went to Pepe Nero's, which is one of our favorite restaurants in Traverse City. We closed it down.
Does that mean 2 a.m.?
No, it was more like 11.
That's good.
Yeah. Because I think we came back. Well, I had an espresso martini at the end of the night
God.
after a couple bottles of wine. So Chris and I were just up like yapping.
Yeah.
And finally, I think it was almost 1:45. Kylie was like, yeah, I'm going to bed. You guys can stay up and talk, martini people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's a colossal mistake when you're trying to get sleep.
I mean, once I went to bed, I was able to go to bed. I had enough alcohol in me. It was fine. But it was probably the best espresso martini I've ever had.
What do you think made it different or better?
They use that. Oh crap! What's that?
Mr. Black?
Brand? No, they used. They had Tito's vodka. They vanilla infused it themselves.
Oh, fancy!
Super fancy. And oh crap! I can't think of what the fancy like coffee name is. It starts with an L. It's like Lavazzo or whatever. Like you'll see it. Like if you're at like a nice restaurant or a hotel or something. The coffee was excellent. It was crazy. It was like super chilled.
Okay.
And then they had this whole splash of cocoa powder across the top.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So it was bitter, but it was so good. Yeah.
Ooh. It makes me thirsty.
No. And then the chef's wife at Pepe Nero, his wife has celiac, and she's the pastry chef.
Oh, okay.
So she'll make one like gluten-full dessert, and then pretty much everything else is gluten-free.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And there was this one, it was Bavarian cream with chocolate. And normally when something's super dense like that, I can have 1 or 2 bites. And then I'm like, I'm full. I'm done. Whatever this was, made with cocaine and Jesus tears, like I wanted to eat all of it.
Yum.
All of it. So.
Yum.
So.
Yeah, that's rare when you want to eat a dessert at the end of the night when you've had alcohol or wine or anything that's filling. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh God, I got to eat a chocolate cake too.
And normally I'm good for 1 bite, especially when it's flourless or something like that. It's so dense, so chocolatey. But yeah, no, I was kind of into it.
Nice.
Yeah, like I would go back and have it again.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we should probably go in a couple weeks.
Nice. Yeah.
No, this is the time to go to Traverse City because then the rentals aren't like insanely expensive. In the summertime, what used to cost you a couple $100 a night is like $800 to $1,000.
I know.
So
we're actually going sometime in February. Can't remember. I'm taking the Glow Girls.
Oh, nice.
So
very nice.
Just for a night. So, and I can't remember when, and I don't know where. I was very involved in the planning. Someone will just give me an address. And
Did you
I'll
have a good
get
weekend?
there. I did. I did nothing. I literally read a book on Sunday. It's 2025. I've read 2 books. I'm so proud of
good for
myself.
you. Did you finish Let Them?
No, not yet. Because I was reading a book.
Got it. Okay.
So I'm still listening to Let Them. And I finished another book, and then I started another one and finished on Sunday night. Because it was so good.
Okay. Is this the one where the girl and her sister joined the same society that she joined?
Yeah, Princeton.
Okay. What was the name of the book? Do you remember?
Society of Lies.
Society of Lies. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's in my Audible. I'll have to listen to it.
It's good.
And then I'll let everybody know and I'll host book club.
Okay. Well, I thought it was true because there are eating clubs at Princeton. Because I verified that with our friend whose niece goes to Princeton.
Okay.
And so they do have these eating clubs because they don't have sororities and fraternities. But the way that this girl described it, I was like, oh my God. It's like
like a cult.
underground.
Oh.
No, it's not really a cult. It's just a secret like no one knows, but everybody knows type of thing.
Yeah.
And the girl that wrote the book went to Princeton.
Okay.
And then at the end, in her acknowledgement, she was like, "Oh, by the way, none of this shit is true." I made it all
Wink,
up.
wink.
So,
Sure.
but it was really good. So anyway,
Allegedly.
yeah,
Yeah.
we did nothing. I mean, we went out for dinner a couple times, and I don't know.
Can we talk about the
even know.
picture that your husband sent to our group chat when you went out to dinner on Saturday night?
Oh my God. Okay, so I have this new contact that I'm not wearing it today, but I wear it and it gives me monovision. So I don't have to wear my readers.
Okay.
And so I wore it for like 3 days in a row. It's not continuously, but we went out for dinner. I put my contact in, had my watch on, I forgot. And then I put my other watch on. And all of a sudden, we're eating dinner. We're having sushi. And I was like, why is my wrist so heavy? What is on my wrist? 2 watches. So bad.
Randy sent that picture, and I'm like, this is the best
right.
picture of me girl ever.
I am not right.
So great.
And I just realized it. I was like pulling up my sleeve and I don't know, trying to get soy sauce or something.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Did you finish Landman on Sunday?
No. Is this season finale?
Yeah,
Oh, shit. No, we didn't.
it is.
No, because we were watching the stupid football games.
What I will say, I finished it yesterday. I will say uneventful
Really?
ending. I mean, it's fine. It's still a
Okay.
good episode, but
Do you think, does it set you up for a season 2?
I mean, maybe.
Well, that's disappointing.
I mean, I have a hard time thinking there's not going to be a season 2 because I feel like this was the best Taylor Sheridan show yet.
Okay. He has quite a few.
So many. And I love them all.
So, what are those numbers? 18 something, 1930,
1923, 1884.
I don't know.
I'm rattling off numbers.
Yellowstone.
Yeah.
What's the
Mayor
show?
of Kingstown.
Mayor of Kingstown.
Landman.
I don't love.
Lioness.
I like Lioness. I don't love Mayor of Kingstown. I fell asleep in the first episode, which to me was just a high sign to like, don't finish the series. It's boring you.
I would say the first episode, I think I watched it and I was like, meh. And then Chris was like, I want to get into the show. So we watched it and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm not looking at my phone and I'm paying attention to the show. It's good. It's good. We'll just about finish the 3rd season. It's not something you can binge because
heavy.
it's heavy.
I
It's
like
like
Jeremy
binging.
Renner.
It's like binging Sons of Anarchy. You know what I mean?
I
like
couldn't finish that either.
we watched Sons of Anarchy on FX with commercials.
Yeah.
Waited every week. Waited for every season. You can handle it then. To be able to binge it, it's too much.
Yeah, I couldn't handle after whatever season.
After season 2.
Yeah,
It gets
is that
really
it?
dark.
Yeah. So those dark ones that last a long time lose me. Same with Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I never finished that either.
Well, that's even like Orange is the
was
New
over
Black. The first season was awesome. And then you kept watching the other seasons hoping that it would get better.
Yeah.
And then you're just kind of like,
Well, I think that's why sitcoms are so popular and so good, is because they're 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Or those little, like Nobody Wants This even. That's not
Yes,
a sitcom,
so
but
good.
it's like,
Yeah.
whatever it was, 22 minutes.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I restarted watching that this weekend.
I did. I've watched it here and there just for like feel good TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had Evie start watching it with me. She was like, oh, this is kind of cute.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it is really cute. Okay. Well, you need to finish. You do have to finish Landman.
I do. I'll finish it because I started it. But then I don't know, Taylor Sheridan, I don't know how many more shows I can watch of yours. Lioness is okay. It was good.
Oh, I think it's good.
But so I liked Yellowstone a lot, but I don't like the Little House on the Prairie situations.
I haven't watched any of the prequels to.
Yeah. Don't you feel like
Yellowstone.
you're watching Little House on the Prairie?
Yeah, it just
all
I
over
was
again? I'm like,
uninterested.
I don't want to see a wagon. Like,
But
we got
whatever is going to be
electricity.
like the 50s or 60s version, that one's Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, well,
I might
I'm
I
in.
might tune in.
I'm in.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
all
we
right.
watched a bunch of college football, and yeah, that was
Yeah.
kind of all we did. I don't even know. It snowed so much, felt like a big blur. I took like 20 naps.
Sometimes you need a weekend like that.
I know.
January 1st and 2nd, I pretty much snoozed all day long every day for those 2 days. And then January 3rd, I was like, whoo, whoo, wow, I'm so refreshed. And I
Yeah.
like took down all my Christmas decorations and I was in it to win it. But
Yeah, you do need times like that. Because I knew we're leaving this week for a few days. And so I needed to get all my shit together.
I know, I'm so excited to see what wines you bring back from Napa.
I know, I am too. Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows what you end up buying after you feel,
Yeah.
had 3 or 4 glasses.
Right.
It's always
I'm sure Hourglass, because we're going there.
yes, delish.
And then we're going to another place that was recommended to us by Hourglass.
Yeah.
So the girl at Hourglass said, go to this other winery. I can't remember which one, because her boyfriend works there. or something.
Okay.
So we're going there too.
Yeah.
That's it. And then dinners and tasting rooms and stuff.
No, super fun.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you.
So you have a mammogram on Monday?
I do.
This is your first one.
Since 2019.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, not my first one ever.
Okay.
But no, I kind of, didn't go. And then we talked about it, I think during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So then I finally made an appointment with a new OBGYN because mine retired. And then I just never made another appointment. She was great. But
She's great. The thing that I like about her is you're not competing with people who are having a baby. So if you're older gals like us and you're not having a kid, you just need a gynecologist. You don't need an OBGYN.
right?
You don't need to fuck around with the whole
And she
scheduling.
was like-
I'm on call.
Whippy, snappy, quick, boom, 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 done and out of the room. Which made me think like the old fart that I was seeing before. I'm like,
He was lingering a little too
yeah.
long.
I was like,
That's gross.
This is a little bizarre now that I see how quick and efficient this chick is.
Right.
So, but then because it wasn't like an emergency or anything, to get an appointment that works, that they have available and fits my schedule. So yeah, it's at like 7 a.m. on Monday.
Yeah.
So, but okay.
You got to do it?
Yeah.
It'll take 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
quick
I'm proud
boob
of you for
squish
doing
and-
it.
Yeah. So,
Do it every year.
well, I know.
I don't give a shit what the guidelines say. Do it every year.
What are the guidelines?
I don't know. They change all the time. When well, it probably depends on your insurance, but there was an overarching like from the NIH that said you only need a mammogram like every 5 years, and then data came out that said no, actually we found more breast cancer in those 5-year gaps. So I think it's back to a year.
Okay.
Every year. I don't know.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Because
You
not
know.
everybody can do a self-check. And even if you can do a self-check, it's hidden. It can be
Yeah.
hidden in the ducts.
But didn't you have a mammogram and then like a month or two later, that's when you found your lump?
Yes. Which
Yeah.
means it formed very quickly.
Yeah. That's scary to think about. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
All right. So we talked about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni last week. And then
I'm still confused on what's going on with that
But then the Megyn Kelly episode came out.
Oh, right,
Her
with her-
podcast
with
with the
his
attorney.
Yeah.
I was uninterested in the Billy Bush section. He annoys me.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, okay, maybe he got a crappy deal, but I don't know. Just his voice bothers me. But I don't know. I have a hard time thinking if Justin Baldoni's lawyer is also Megyn Kelly's lawyer. I don't know. I just think it puts Blake in a really bad light. Sorry, girl. I think your publicist and your PR team and everything did you dirty.
Like, what's the point? I get it. Sexual assault is real. And I get it. If she was assaulted and she felt assaulted even.
Yeah.
She should say something. But, I mean, I just think it's so weird. And then why are they suing each other?
Yeah.
And
But to my point, you are Blake Lively, okay? You were able to make this man, who was the director of the film, go to the basement during the premiere because you didn't want to be around him. You were able to have your cut of the movie be the one that was in the movie theaters and not his. If you felt uncomfortable on set, you don't raise your hand and say, I feel uncomfortable.
yeah.
You know, you held up production. People know that you went over budget because you wouldn't try on clothes in a regular fitting. You made the lady come to your house.
Yeah. I get the diva part. But then I also get the part of, to play devil's advocate.
Okay.
If something did happen and she had a deadline, I haven't been in a situation like this, but I know other people who have been in a situation where you're trying to get something done work-wise. And so you may be in a compromising situation. There may not be a chance to say it at the time, and then maybe after, then you're like, God damn it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure if I was worried about my vagina hanging out, I'd raise my hand and say, I feel
Well,
like my
yeah,
vagina's
I mean, that
hanging
pregnancy scene, all the shit she put out was like, okay, that was not cool. What
Yeah.
she texted.
Yeah.
And what she omitted and took out, and people took out emojis and out
Right.
of context, that is ridiculous. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think, honestly. Because, like, you know, if you're, especially, what if the man, okay, so I get that she's Blake Lively, and I get that she is domineering as far as her acting career, her wealth, all of that, her production company. But then you're like, you could be in a compromising position. I don't know.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Why did
Okay?
she wait? I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
Weird.
It
Very
is weird. It is weird.
So, I
We'll
don't know.
see.
Well.
But you think Simple Favor 2?
So that's already been filmed, edited,
with Anna
done.
Kendrick.
Yes, with Anna Kendrick. And so it's done.
Don't those two have beef?
I think so. So it will be interesting. So all those interviews now are circulating back and, you know, are popular again. And just seeing Anna Kendrick's body language when Blake just talks about the most random shit during an interview. And basically the interviewers were way more into Anna than into her.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you be?
She sounds like an asshole.
Right?
In her interview, she really does. Like, did she not have a PR coach to tell her, like, hey,
If she does, she
Stay on
forgets
track.
everything as soon as it's lights, camera, action.
is she trying to be ironic? Like, I don't get that part
I
of
think
her.
she's trying to be as funny as her husband, but you don't have the delivery, so you can't do it.
No, and it's not even in the right context.
Right? So, I don't know.
She's ridiculous.
But, I mean, I'll watch A Simple Favor 2. But there wasn't A Simple Favor 2 book, right? So this is just a play on
it
the fact-
ended as
Yeah.
the book did.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they're going to conjure up another whole movie.
Yeah. Did the movie end differently than the book?
No,
I don't know.
it pretty much ended the
Did
same.
it?
I
Okay.
think, yeah. I mean, he went to jail, right?
Yeah. But then she kind of got away with it, right?
No, wait, did she go to jail? I forgot how it ended.
Yeah.
I
don't
feel
really
like it
remember.
ended like the similar to the book.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is going to be a reach.
Yeah.
Simple Favor
Well,
2.
yeah, it's straight to Amazon or Netflix or something like that. So, yeah, we'll see.
Interesting. We'll see.
I don't know. What is Society of Lies? This the book you just read?
Yeah. So somebody told me that Reese Witherspoon's book club books that she picks. This is why I got it for Christmas. My
Okay.
kids were like, "Oh, Reese Witherspoon's book club."
Okay.
My mom will like it. So, I guess her books are handpicked by her because she wants to make them into a movie.
I think if it becomes part of her book club, she gets the movie rights.
I'm sure.
yeah.
Yes. Because she owns that production company,
Yes.
right? So it would be interesting for it to be a movie.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great.
So, but I mean, she has the movie rights to a lot of things. Not everything becomes a movie.
Right.
But yeah, that kind of stuff. That's my kind of movie.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of a thriller, a twist,
Yeah, it is. It's all of it.
you know.
But the great part is with her picking books like that. I don't know if she does.
Yeah.
She probably has
Well, she has
staff.
a team, I'm sure. Yeah.
But that she gives these younger authors a chance. And so I don't know how many books this girl's written. Her name is Lauren Ling Brown or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. She's half African American and half Korean, Chinese. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's kind of part of the story of the book too.
Oh, got it. Okay.
But I'm not familiar with her name.
Okay.
So I don't know what she's written.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Tune in. So did you upgrade your Tracy Anderson?
I did.
Okay. And
I love it. It's a brand new. So I already have the box. It's called My Mode. It's a My Mode box.
Yep.
The staff, the weights, these hand things, and then I upgraded to a bigger staff with more weights. That was it.
okay. But you can still use your box with this new big staff.
Yeah. It unleashes content, extra content.
Okay.
And then it's heavier weights. Because as we talked about before, we need to start lifting heavier weights.
We need to lift heavier weights. But you are a dedicated Tracy Anderson person. So, yes, you've been into it for 5 years now?
Yeah. 5 years.
So, it well worth the investment for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It is. So I don't pay for any other classes, really, and don't belong to another membership. So that's my justification.
Yeah.
Randy might say otherwise, but
Randy
I love
Schmandy.
it. I love it.
Yes. Perfect. All right. Well, I'm excited for you. All right. Well, when we get back, very exciting guests today. Very near and dear to my heart. Super Dave is going to be on the podcast. I would like to say, so I always get some type of comment or feedback or everything after he listens to the podcast. Well, 2 weeks ago, he texted and is like, best podcast ever. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, we filmed that before Christmas. I should re-listen to it. I started listening to it. For the first 30 minutes, I'm just talking about how amazing he is. So, of course, it was his best podcast ever.
That's it.
But then when he listened to this past week, I got a text message that says he now follows EVP Cooks.
Oh.
Yes.
See?
So,
We're rubbing off on one
right?
person.
Oh, and he follows occasionally Jenna.
Oh, good. That's awesome.
So, yeah, totally works.
Well, he better come out here in a cape.
Right?
He is Super Dave.
So, all right. When we come back, Super Dave. Listen, Here's the Thing is inspired by Be Alive. Are you ready to share your passions and creativity with the world? At Be Alive, their mission is to build brands and inspire people to chase their passions. They're always searching for dynamic storytellers and creators with a passion to join their team.
A team of dreamers, creators, seekers, united by a common passion for adventure and creativity. If you want to join the Be Alive creator community, maybe shop for some fun Be Alive merch, or catch up on all Listen, Here's the Thing episodes and blogs, head over to Go Be Alive and join the Be Alive family. Be Alive, it's that simple.
All right, so we are back from the break with our fun guest, Super Dave.
Super Dave.
Oh.
Everyone loves Super Dave. Where did you come up with that? I want to know the history of
He didn't come up with it. Yeah.
Yeah, the history of that is the girls would be talking nonsense at home.
the girls, meaning
Katie and her sister, and I'd be
Oh, you're talking about the thing like this.
right.
Yeah. So
Oh.
Super Dave
Not
has
the
a
actual
signature
Oh, the move.
move
Yeah.
when you
And
post
that's
for a
how
picture.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how that came up. But that was the
But we called it the Papa Move because you would always do it with your grandkids too.
right. I know.
And he
'Cause
would
it
just
was
be like,
kinda,
just open his mouth and
yeah,
point
because
his
you guys
finger.
thought it was goofy, so you thought
Yeah.
it was goofy, so
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
But then, Kylie and her cousins, they were like super into it. They would be like, oh, it's so funny with Papa. So we called it doing the Papa Moo. But then it would come to it, I'd be with my girlfriends and I'd be like, hey, everybody, we got to pose for a picture like this and send it to my dad.
That's so cute.
And you would get all excited about it. But the name Super Dave
Yes.
came from Mike Lang.
yes.
Oh.
When Chris and I, our families were down in Deep Creek when we got engaged. And all of us young kids were shit-faced in the hot tub. And my dad's hanging out with us. And he would just get Mike to do the dumbest shit. He'd be like, all right, chug your beer, jump out of the hot tub, run through the snow, and dive into that snowbank.
And 100% he would.
And he did everything my dad asked him to do. All of it. And he just kept going, hanging out with Super Dave. I'm just hanging out with Super Dave. And it just stuck. You're just Super Dave.
No, it really did. And
Yeah.
I thought how it started was because he didn't want to call me Mr. Shea. I think
maybe.
he wanted to be respectful.
Yeah.
But if he
But
thought
not
he
call
did
you straight
something-
up Dave.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
do something kind of
That's
fun.
respectful.
Yeah.
You know?
And a very Lang thing to do. I'll just give you a nickname.
Yeah, no.
Were
Yeah.
you
That was
to
it.
Katie's friends and boyfriends in high school Mr. Shea, or were you Dave?
Oh no, Mr. Shea.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was that time. You know, I
Yeah.
mean there's a generational difference here. And that's
Yeah, no, none of my friends really called my mom and dad
No.
Dave and Sue.
Okay.
it didn't bother me. When people would call me Mr. Shea, I would always say, hey, Mr. Shea's my dad. My name's Dave.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't like being called Mr. Shea.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but I mean, some kids are just
No,
taught to do
respectful.
that.
Sure,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So, no, I always think it's interesting when somebody that Kylie hangs out with that isn't a kid that's always at my house, and they call me Katie, I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
not that I expect them to call me Mrs. Kiefer,
Right.
but if we're not tight,
Yeah.
like your kids are going to call me Katie.
Right.
But yeah, no, sometimes I'm just kind of like, interesting.
Yeah. Manners much?
Right?
Yeah.
So, but all the boys that come to our house call Chris Coach.
Oh, right.
Even if he's not
Even if
their
he's
coach.
not their
he's
coach.
Yeah.
Got it. So, what is your favorite part about our podcast? Okay, first of all, I need to preface this with Dave is our number one fan.
Number one fan.
Every Monday, you give the report to Katie.
Yep.
What time does this drop?
I mean,
At midnight.
it drops at midnight.
shit,
And I
I
mean,
didn't know
sometimes
that.
the report comes in as early as 8 a.m., depending on how early.
Well, because I usually wake up around 6.
Okay. And we're the first thing
And,
that you
right,
decide
and I'm not ready to
press
get
play
out of
on?
bed.
Mm-hmm.
So my clock is set for 7:30, and I get
Yeah.
up at 7:30 every day. And so I'll listen to it on the podcast. Now, when you did
While
the
you're
show,
doing what? Working out?
No, I'm still in bed, just kind of relaxing, So,
You hear us cackling away.
but then if
You're like,
it's the show you did with the Wicked,
oh, yeah.
when you
Oh,
were
the
in
girls in Orange
costume.
County.
Yeah.
Well, then I went downstairs, put it on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So that I
Oh,
could
so
see
you
what you
listen
looked
to
like.
it as opposed to
Correct.
watch and listen.
Right, because I know what
Okay.
you look like.
But then, but sometimes he'll be like, there was one time it was not uploaded to YouTube correctly. Oh, Super Dave, let me know.
Oh,
right away.
yeah, it was only sound, no picture.
Yeah. And he's like, well, you guys were talking about something. And I was like, well, now I need to know what you're wearing. Now I need to know what you're doing.
That's so funny.
I want to see what occasionally Jenna looks like.
Exactly.
So,
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we have you as a sounding
No,
board.
and it's really, I really enjoy it. I love to see you laugh.
yeah. Because that doesn't happen on the podcast.
And yeah, right. And then the other thing is, Meko is your best friend.
Yeah.
And there's really something to have a bond with best friends.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things where you and I are very, very similar in, okay, whether we want to be or not.
Sure.
And that is all of my really close friends were always older than me.
Oh, what
You
are you
know.
saying?
No, I don't mean that. I don't mean
Dave,
that. No, but you know what I mean?
we're the same age. What do you mean?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you look the same,
Right?
But no, that's, we're being honest. But I think that's what it takes. I think whether it's the maturity aspect or the fun thing, you know, a lot of things. A lot of guys my age, we didn't have any money to go do nothing.
Yeah.
So I needed older guys that had a little bit of money to that we can go out.
You're like,
to
let's go
dinner or
party.
do something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Super
No,
Dave was never
I'm not a partier. You
Yeah.
know, in my family, I'm really the only one that doesn't really drink.
Oh, until you go to graduation parties.
Yeah, but that was.
Oh my
I didn't
God.
know
The
that was
best
gonna
Super
happen.
Dave story is when he came to my daughter's graduation party a couple of years ago. And we had a pitcher. It wasn't even a pitcher. It was like a spout, like a
like a
drinking-
gravity fed.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
but you won't take it
Spigot,
yourself.
But it was mojito.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Nine
lemonade.
drinkers take it.
No, he thought it was limeade.
Limeade.
Yeah.
Which, where the fuck do
Because
you go where you get limeade?
That's what
First
Lisa
of
said. Because
all.
Lisa was right in front of me in that line, and your
was
bartender was
bullshitting
taking
you.
a break.
But Lisa also isn't really a huge drinker either. She doesn't know.
Limeade. Can you
Right.
imagine? I'd be like, come on
Maybe
in,
it's a
guys, for
Canadian
some
thing.
limeade.
Right.
I would never serve that. Okay, just
You
so
know.
you know.
Yeah, right.
And you had a couple, and you're like, wow.
3.
Jeez.
No, but it's harder
this
for
is
everybody.
good.
Yeah. And he was like, wow, these are really good. But he was like, I don't know.
You're getting
All
warm.
of a sudden,
It was
hit
June.
me.
Yeah. I'll never forget.
Did it hit you? Were you
Take me
hungover?
home before I do something. I will regret.
You were so fun. Did you feel hungover the next day?
No, not really.
Okay.
You know, and it was like crazy.
I mean,
So
you were drinking them to hydrate.
Yeah. I mean, it was a hot.
Well, you know,
Summer is
and
hot.
the thing of it
Summer-
is, you know, being gluten free, you didn't have a lot of gluten free
I'm sorry.
options. You know,
Next grad, we will.
So, it's like wow, you know. So kind of on a, you know, I'm waiting.
Yeah, you had to
You know,
drink your
empty
calories.
stomach and you know, and yeah. So we're on the way home like a true alcoholic. I saw Taco Bell. I was like, man, pulling the Taco
Yeah.
Bell. You know?
As every true
Did you
drinker
really?
does.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did
that's
you?
too
What is your
funny.
favorite at Taco Bell?
Just tacos. Really can't
Oh,
eat nothing else.
hard
because-
shell.
Hard
Yeah.
shell taco.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know.
So because you tune in every week,
Yes.
tell us a few things that you have learned from the podcast that you did not know before.
Oh, especially about your daughter.
Yeah, number one, I didn't really know you were so involved in Broadway musicals and stuff. When you
Did
were
you
in
just
high
meet?
school,
No, not in high
you didn't
school.
do anything like that. You were no theater or
No, I did not participate. But my love for musicals came from always being at Grandma Geiger's house. And I mean, we would watch Sound of Music,
No,
Seven
and
Brides for
that's
Seven
fine.
Brothers, South Pacific, Oklahoma.
right.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there at the time.
No, you were not there. But yeah, that's where my love for musicals came. No, it wasn't until I had a couple of shekels in my pocket that I could be like, hey,
Right.
I kind of want to, I've always wanted to go to one of these. I'm going to
Right.
go,
Right.
So, but yes, I love Broadway.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
obvious.
So this is new. You don't know this until recently during the podcast.
Well-
but you knew it because she takes trips to New York.
Yeah, but I didn't really
You didn't put
nail
two
it
and two
down.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, you're going here and, we got the dogs and blah, blah, blah. But then when you're talking about it with the whole Wicked thing and
Yeah. Well, what
and
I will
seeing
say,
things-
you don't like musicals. So I'm not going to sit down and have a musical conversation with you.
I went, as a kid, I liked Elvis Presley musicals.
There were such a thing.
Elvis Presley?
What?
No, I know Elvis Presley, but musicals.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
His movies, he sang
his
in all of them.
music.
Oh, yeah.
Movies. Oh,
That's
God.
hey, those are other musicals I watched as a kid. When I would go to my dad's on the weekends, we would go to the video store. I could get a movie I wanted, but then we always got an Elvis Presley musical. Yeah.
Were they in black and white?
No, they were in color. But it's like, he would be at a resort in Hawaii and he would just kind of show up there. I don't know, maybe work there, whatever. And he would just,
and he'd have his ukulele.
oh yeah, ukulele or guitar, and he'd be singing. And he was super cute,
Yeah.
and girls would be, all over him.
And you knew when the song was going to come.
Right.
It'd be dialogue. You knew when
Sure. Yeah. I forget that he was an actor.
Yeah. Oh
that.
yeah.
Well, not much of one, but yeah. No, I enjoyed that.
Yeah. You did. Yeah.
What else have you learned about Katie specifically? Because I think it's really interesting, the parent dynamic, because we have kids, right? And so you reference back to high school, like, oh, you didn't like this in high school. And I almost think I'm data collecting secretly all the things that my kids like in high school. Is that where the memory stops? Because then they move away. And then you don't really understand, really, like you did when they lived with you, all their hobbies and habits, because they start to form new ones that you may not know about until later in life
Right. Well, you're not going to hear about all the college stuff
at all.
until like 20 years later.
I'm sure.
And then it's going to be, hey, in full disclosure,
Yeah.
I did this.
Yeah.
And I did, wow.
Oh man, if the
But
Red
at the
Rocket
time,
could talk.
we didn't want to. You don't
Yeah.
really want to know.
I don't want to know right now.
know.
Yeah.
Really, I'm nosy. I want to know all the things.
I do, but I don't. Like, I want to know to the extent that she's safe,
Okay.
but I don't want to know every detail because that would make me worried.
Yeah, but I'm like, fuck, if I survived. Whew.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, when you would come home, we always want to know when you got back to school
Yeah.
safely.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like, yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of put me on the spot here. I don't know. You know, the shows you watch, right?
Okay.
So you were
right.
talking about
Oh, Chimp Crazy.
the Jim Crazy.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
I hadn't heard of that, but watch.
Do you take our recommendations and go watch them after we talk about them?
not your girly shows.
The Real Housewives of any city.
Love is
no.
Blind. Have
Yeah.
you watched any episodes of Love is Blind?
No.
Did you watch Chimp Crazy?
Yeah.
That bitch was crazy.
Yeah.
Katie sent me a picture of her dancing on New Year's Eve. I didn't know who that was at first. I literally thought that was from the Moose. I thought it was from the Moose Lodge here in Midland. That
Yeah.
she
Wow.
just some videotape of or video of some random girl. It was the Chimp Crazy
Yeah,
chick
the lady from Chimp Crazy was
who's standing there. Just
it
go-
looked like she was at a type of Moose Lodge, but she's dancing and like her husband's dancing next
was
to
that
her.
her husband? And then a friend. It was
And
a third girl.
But the funny thing is, they were probably having the time of their life. Their bodies barely moved. They were
Barely.
just just shimmying.
And they probably were sweating.
Oh my God.
They were having the best time.
But you didn't know what a push present was. I do remember you calling me up afterwards and saying, I never heard of a push present.
Yeah.
So clearly you never got Sue one. You owe her 2 now.
But, there again, when we had our first child, it was really low budget.
Push present doesn't have
I get it.
cost
Monetary
limit.
value.
Mm-hmm. And I even asked Mom, I said, was that a thing? And she said, well, yeah, kind of. Well,
You dropped the
you
ball.
never said
That's
nothing.
cool.
Well,
But hey, this is what I.
yeah.
We're putting out a PSA now to all men
For sure.
who are going to have a child, whether it's your first or your 30th, that
God,
you
I
have
really
to
hope people aren't
have
having
a
30
push
kids.
present for every child.
Yeah. Is there an expiration date on a
No,
push
there's
present?
no expiration date. There's no expiration
Oh,
date.
thank you, Katie.
Yeah. There
Oh,
is
no,
not.
I'm asking for myself.
Oh,
Right.
got it.
I'm not asking for a friend.
Right. No, she's asking for herself. She needs to collect on what's due. Yeah,
But just to see
statue.
you guys laugh and you really enjoy it, and some of the faces you make, I kind of see my mom a little bit,
Really?
which
That's
is kind
awesome.
of
Were you close with your grandma?
No.
Oh.
no, because
Was she
was a
around when
little-
you were around?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
but-
passed away. Kylie was probably like 2 when she passed away. Frida was,
Yeah, she was a little different.
yeah.
Okay.
Frida really
In a good
liked
way?
Frida.
Yeah, Frida looked like Frida, and then I
Yeah.
think we knew at the end she had dementia,
Yeah.
or Alzheimer's or whatever.
Is that the part that reminds you of Katie?
When I'm super forgetful. Oh no, this is a great story. A great story about my dad with my grandma. So when she's, was starting to lose it a little bit, my grandma and grandpa had moved into like an old people community, but they had a very good like memory loss section. So they started out together in an apartment, and then eventually, did grandma go there like full time?
No, they were both there.
Well, I know, but did she go into like the memory unit full time, or she would come home to grandpa at the end of the day?
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, so my dad and his younger brother Mark go to visit my grandma and grandpa, and they like took her out to lunch, and she wanted a margarita, but when she wasn't really with it, she just kind of like sat there like quiet, So she's a margarita, maybe even 2 in. All of a sudden, memory comes back. She's telling stories. My dad and my Uncle Mark think that they found the cure to
For
dementia.
Alzheimer's, yeah.
Yeah, like this is it. Tequila. Like this will this is gonna bring everybody back, So they're telling stories, blah, blah, blah. Well, then all of a sudden the switch goes off.
Uh-oh.
She doesn't. Well, but she sees my dad sit next to her and she's like, ooh, you're
Oh,
cute.
no.
She starts,
my God.
She starts having game on my dad.
What a fucking nightmare.
And it was like, oh, no, tequila does not work.
Yeah. No,
Need to
she
get
had
mom
her arm
home.
Yeah.
around me, and she's kind of like playing with my ear and stuff.
Oh
And,
my
talk
God.
about being
Oh my
freaked out.
God.
Like,
Did
yeah.
you just want to throw up in your mouth?
Because the thing is, at home, she wanted margaritas. When my dad would buy the margarita mix, but no tequila in it, she would just drink that straight.
Okay, so just
she
just
liked the
straight
cheap
sugar.
juice.
no, yeah.
Which is just straight sugar,
Yeah.
right? And now they're finding that a lot of times Alzheimer's is kind of sugar related.
I can totally see that.
Yeah.
Well, it's a drug,
That's so interesting that he wouldn't give her the tequila. What was wrong?
Oh, so then, she would be, my dad would want to nap and she'd want to go somewhere. So there's times that she would just get dressed and leave.
Put her Chi-Chi's margarita
and
in a
then
glass and
he's-
take off.
He wakes up and, where's she at?
She sounds like
So
a wild lady.
He had to have a buzzer on the inside. So she'd open up that door and it would. Oh, yeah.
That
Oh,
is
yeah.
great. She
No.
sounded like she was ahead of her time, and if she would have lived today, she would be on this podcast.
She
with us right now.
free.
No.
She
No,
had
she
the-
would, 'cause she
had
would- yeah.
opinions.
No,
Oh,
she
yeah.
was, as a kid growing up, she was they liked to party,
Mm-hmm.
right? And my mom had really crappy hair, but she'd wear wigs, and she had these big bouffant wigs and stuff. And
She didn't have this hair.
No.
No.
Where does she get this hair from?
I don't know.
My
From,
mom.
yeah, from
My
from
mom.
Oh, okay.
Sue.
Your mom
My
does have a
mom
lot of
has
hair.
even more hair than I do.
Yeah, your
my
mom
mom's
does
got
have a lot
ton
of
of
Oh, no,
hair.
she's got the hair of a teenager.
Yeah, it's real thick. And like good texture
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Oh yeah, Frida. I wish I didn't really know Frida in the wig days. I mean, there's pictures of me little and you could totally tell she has a wig on, but she was just embracing the bad hair and like, the memories that I can go back
Plus,
to.
she could change out her hairstyle every day.
Oh yeah.
No, I can remember to be like, all right, we got to call your grandma and grandpa because martinis would start at like noon or 1. So you had to get your family phone call in before the martinis.
Oh, you'd have to call your
yeah.
mom.
If you called like 2:30 afternoon,
Oh, forget it.
or they were just so argumentative about
Oh.
everything.
They weren't like happy drunks.
No.
Not like us.
They were very mean.
No, but you know what? My dad has always said, you can choose to be like your parents or you can choose to be different. And he chose to be different. I mean, I'm thankful for them. They gave my dad life, but they were probably not, they were not the most attentive parents, the most loving parents. But it made you a phenomenal.
No,
Yes,
I
you're a
wanted
great dad.
to be right or wrong.
Yeah. No, and don't just say I got dealt like a shit hand in life.
That
you
is
know what I mean?
zero excuse. I hate that.
Because here's the best thing I have heard so far in 2025. A crackhead does not wake up and go, fuck, I don't have any money. I can't buy crack today. Oh, no. Nothing holds
figure
them
it
back.
out.
Yeah.
They found out how to get crack. So my mantra in life is, I'm not going to be out hustled by a crackhead.
I like that.
No,
I
I-
think
no.
you should make it a bumper sticker.
I should.
Yeah.
So,
With your crafty thing, you can make
oh
a
yeah,
t-shirt.
with my cricket.
I heard something for 2025, which I love too. Choose your hard. You can be fat, out of shape, and miserable, or you can be in shape, go to the gym. Choose your hard. They're both hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to be overweight and out of shape and struggling with your health.
Oh, choose what's hard to you.
Choose
Yeah,
your hard.
yeah.
Or it's hard to go to the gym every day, like you, Super Dave, and us.
Yeah.
And work out, and like of course I would rather sleep my ass until 8:30, but I don't. I get up and work out. But I loved that because I'm like, that is true, because it's hard being like really sick and
Yeah.
not wanting to get out of bed. That's hard.
Well, okay, so we'll talk about this now. Your big health journey, right?
Yes,
So how long have you been an active member of Planet Fitness?
It'd be 2 years next month.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but now you can't imagine not going to.
right.
No, I can't.
Tell us your
And-
journey from the beginning, why you chose to do it.
Well, weirdly enough, a buddy of mine that I hang around with in town, Jamie Fuller, and who's downloading the YouTube app so we can watch it.
Very nice.
We'll
Yeah.
tag you, Jamie.
You know, just kind of out of the blue, he says, "Hey, we should join Planet Fitness." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." You know, he said, "Hey, it's $10 a month."
Yeah.
You know, okay. You know, and you can join. I think at the time it was like for $1.
Okay.
And like, okay. And something just clicked, I think, in both of us. And unless I'm on vacation, yeah, there's been a couple times that I've had to work on something, but yeah, we don't miss.
Yeah.
And this was how many years ago?
2
2
years ago.
years.
2 years. Okay.
So
And you've been
I
consistent
was
like every day. I mean,
Pardon
you're very loyal. I mean, you're very
we,
consistent.
We go 3 times a week: Tuesday, Thursday, Sundays,
That's very consistent.
and we do it for an hour and a half each time.
But he'll see like a video of like Chris in the gym doing something. So the next time he's at the gym with Jamie, then, there's a video of my dad doing it. But then sometimes it's like, yeah, I'm doing it, but I'm doing 1 extra rep. Or I'm using 5
I
more
love
pounds.
it.
Yeah. For
I
sure.
love it. Do you watch workout videos to know what to do at the gym, or do you make up your own?
Yeah, well, Planet Fitness has them,
Oh, they do.
right?
Oh, I
you know,
didn't know
you
that.
can, when you have their app, you can see different workouts.
Okay.
Okay.
And then actually, I see a lot of workouts like on TikTok.
Yeah.
I've learned stuff from you and from Chris that said, "Hey, you should try to do this." And yeah,
Super
I
Dave, you're a
really like
Renaissance
it.
man.
but we all know that 40 plus years of trucking,
Yeah.
kind of took its toll. And you would always tell me, "Hey, stand up straight," because I was all bent over.
Right.
And I was heavier. And then I saw, videos of people trying to do different things to lose weight. And that kind of was like, hey, if that guy can do it, I can do it too.
Totally.
And so I cut a lot of stuff out. And
Yeah, you're like
Intermittent
you're in the
fasting.
best shape you've been
oh,
in
I know.
eons.
You know, and when I retired, you know, I didn't really want to. You know, your mom was hot on retirement, and you know, wanted to move here to be by you. And I think really and truly, if I felt like I do today, 5 years ago,
You would
I
have
don't know
stopped.
if I would have retired. But I think this is the best I felt in my life.
That's
Okay,
amazing.
so in 2018, my dad and I put the fireplace in my house.
Oh, was it that long
Oh,
ago?
yeah, you should have pictures on that screen of that.
Oh
Yeah.
no, they'll pop up. Kelsey will do that
okay,
now that we mentioned that. There'll be a pop up. So we did the fireplace. It took us 2.5 weeks.
It did not take 2. It took 2 weeks.
I remember you couldn't get a
It
manicure
took 2
for
weeks
a
because
long time.
I took a week off from
Yeah.
work,
No, it was
and
like,
I
"You still
remember
here,
calling
please?"
him,
He
calling
was,
my
yeah.
Oh.
calling my leader on Friday, and saying, "Hey, I'm not going to be back," and it didn't really go over well.
Well, no,
And
because you
I-
thought it was going to take you like 2 days to run the gas line. It took you almost a week to run that
Oh,
gas
it
line.
did not. Did it really? I think I took a week off.
You definitely thought we were going to be able to get it done in a week.
And I remember calling and saying, well, I got you scheduled for a load, and you're going to. And I just said, hey, this is the kid that's going to be picking out my nursing home. So I'm not
better be
leaving
nice to her.
until this is done.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I remember, yeah.
Because
I probably was, because Chris came home. The idea was to have it done before he came home.
and he
then
came
he
home.
comes home, and that room was all full of that stone on the
Yeah,
floor. And
there's
I know,
a tarp all over the carpet,
Yeah.
stones laid out so that we
Yeah.
could put it up. And I mean, I was so meticulous about what stone would go where. But I'm telling you that last like little like 1/8 of stone, I didn't care that they were all the same shape. Just let's make sure the colors are right. And I'm just like,
you know, and the thing of it is, I did that for a living at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, something like that I could knock out a day and a half. But I was also in my 20s.
Yeah.
Right.
So now I'm old, out of shape. And I remember some days going to bed at 8 o'clock because I was beat.
I mean, I could see like we would get to a point and I'd be like, and we're done working for today.
Yeah.
Like you.
Was that really you? Yeah,
Some
there were-
days,
no,
other
there were a
days, I'd
couple
be
days.
like, hey, old man,
yeah.
it's time for a coffee because we're getting to this point today.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, but I think it really turned out nice. And I like,
Gorgeous. But I just remember you going, yeah, hey, when I move here and your friends want this, I'm not doing it.
So
I'm not
do you
doing
think
it.
if you were in the shape that you are now, you could have knocked that out in
A week and a half.
a week?
yeah. Yeah.
And you're older,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy?
which is so crazy.
Because the thing is, I had a hard time getting on my knees.
Yeah.
I had a hard time getting up from being on my knees.
Yeah.
So just so everyone knows, Super Dave is the Super Dave of not just Katie and your family, but
Yeah.
the community. And
Yeah, a lot of people
so
rely on Super
We
Dave.
rely on you not just for your awesomeness and your great personality, but also your skill. So you do things that we don't really know how to do, especially at my house and at my work.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you. And so you were under my sink one day, a couple weeks ago, and you're like, I never could have done this.
Yeah.
Like
No.
a while ago. And you were just like under there, like it was nobody, like you were 25
Right.
years old.
Well, yeah, because you're.
So you've got to be so proud of yourself. Like,
No, I am.
that's amazing.
You know, because with working my core,
Yeah.
you know, when you're underneath the sink on your back is here, your legs are in your butt.
You're kind of like in
lower.
a bridge position.
Yeah.
So this way
Yeah.
you kind of do like a reverse plank,
Yep.
and yeah,
And all
I
you
could
have is
stay
your
like
little
that.
light that was here, and
Yeah.
you're like
Just-
up in there.
His headlamp. It's
Yeah.
famous for it.
Well, because when you get older, you don't.
No,
I
I
need one.
I need light. I can see
Yeah.
fine if
Same.
the light is good.
Yeah.
So. But,
No, it's funny. So we were at dinner on Saturday night, and Pepe Nero is a very dim
Yeah, it's dark in
restaurant,
there.
but they have these little lamps on the table, and they're very, very small lamps. But you can turn it off, but they're bright. So
Oh, they
and
are?
and it shines down right like
Right on
it-
the menu.
on the menu, right? But Chris needs all that extra light. Like all the time. But then finally I just got to a point where I just turned it off and Kelly goes, oh, thank God.
You're killing the mood.
Chris was
killing
like,
the vibe.
well, now I feel like I can't see my food.
Isn't it sad when now I have to put my reading glasses on to eat?
Meko.
And I'm there.
No, I'm not there. What I am at is when it's really small print and it's dim light. And I'm like, fuck.
I know.
God, now I got to turn
Yeah,
the
so
light
have
on.
you, when you were in the earlier segment,
Yes.
when you were talking about your contacts.
Yeah. I only have one.
Okay, so if you only have one in, your other eye should be able to see close, no?
No, it doesn't. So I do have a dominant eye, which is my left eye. So the right eye, I don't know what happens. I don't know the science behind it. All I know is it takes me a little while to get adjusted. It's certainly not the same as wearing reading glasses. Like reading glasses, I can, right away. But when I wear my contact, I have to get acclimated, and then I can start to read. Never this close. I mean, maybe it's like here.
Right.
And then distance is weird because then all of a sudden it's like, this vision that's trying to read, but you're looking far. It's a mind fuck, basically. But I mean, it's better than wearing, like now. If I were to know what we're going to talk about next, I don't until I go, 1 second, please. And now my glasses are all foggy and I got fingerprints on them. Oh, let's talk about your new sauna blanket. I wouldn't know to talk about that until I put my glasses on.
Okay, yeah, talking about your health journey.
Yes.
So you asked for a sauna blanket for
I
Christmas.
did.
Oh, did you get him the same kind that you have?
No, I didn't because I got him a different kind that is the brand of my Thorogun. Yes. And
Is it higher dose?
like my body shaker machine? No, it's not higher dose. It's Life Pro.
Oh, okay.
But you like it.
Yeah.
So, do you do it every day?
Not every day. Should I do it every day?
When I first
Katie
got
does.
mine, yes, I did do it every day, but I had inflammation problems every day.
Okay,
Where now I probably do
so-
it 3 to 4 days a week.
So I was going into it and then zipping it up and then turning it on.
Oh,
But
I'm a preheater.
So how long do you preheat for?
Well, it depends. So if
How
I
do
were
you
to
want
say, yeah, and it's like, what is my morning like? Am I pressed for time? I might jump right in it.
You get into yours right before you get out of bed, right?
So I usually do mine, yes, roll out of bed, take care of the dogs, hop in the sauna blanket. So basically, I get up, let Nugget out, take my thyroid pills, and then I'll walk into the living room, get everything all set up. And then by that time, Shay Mosey's downstairs, feed her. So it's heating up as I'm taking care of the dogs.
it.
Everybody eats, everybody goes outside. And then when I'm okay, the chaos is done because I'm going to be in here for about 60 minutes.
Do you go in nude?
no.
Or do you wear something?
So I don't go in nude. Sometimes I'm just in my pajamas.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I do have a sweatsuit,
Yes.
that a wrestler would go
Yeah.
into a sauna in. So the first time I ever put it on, I didn't realize that there was mesh in the crotch area, that part, so it's breathable.
Yeah.
So when I got out, there was all that sweat in there. It was my water broke. All the sweat just came out. It was very unexpected. So sometimes I'll throw that in. But today, I woke up early, taught bar, came home. Kylie left for school. And then I did a few things. I did some emails and stuff. And then I'm you know what? I'm going to get my sauna blanket. I went right in my bar clothes.
Okay.
So, and then, watched a couple episodes of Younger and,
Perfect.
got up, took a cold shower and
Feel better.
started my day. Yeah. So Chris went in the cold plunge today. He had to break the ice today. Normally he could sit for 2 minutes. He was only in there for 40 seconds.
Okay. I have a question about the cold plunge in Michigan in the winter. Mm-hmm. Is it necessary?
So I'll tell you what,
Cold.
I don't,
Just walking outside.
I have not sat in it. Okay. And I've only done this once. I'm not going to say that I've done this a lot. I did it one time, but I will say I walked out, I got in, I sat down and I got right up only because he told me I wouldn't do it. So I'm I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So I went out and did it. My feet and hands, and that's my biggest inflammation point, felt amazing all day long.
Did you have to warm up on your own? Because I've heard different theories, you should not sauna after a cold plunge. You should let your body naturally warm back
I
up.
totally agree with that. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I jumped in the shower. One, you can't have the hot water right away because it feels like pins
Yeah,
and needles.
right.
So you kind of just take a lukewarm shower, but I try not to linger.
This
so
is
that,
after the cold plunge?
so that I can still feel the
So you
effects.
naturally warm up. So I feel like I don't have a cold plunge. So I feel like my type of cold plunge would just to be make a snow angel. Would that work?
Yeah, technically. I think there's a difference in being submerged as opposed
Yeah,
to
I
like
do too.
just being in the snow.
But it is so freaking cold here.
Well, like today,
It's colder than a cold plunge.
I got out of the sauna blanket and I just went outside. I just
Yeah.
took Shay outside and I just stood on the porch
Yeah.
and like in my sweaty clothes. And that's not the same as
not.
being in cryotherapy or a cold plunge. It's not. It's not the same.
Well, maybe I'll go out tomorrow and roll around in the snow.
There you go. How is it not the same though?
It's not. It just hits different. It's not as, I don't know,
Because you're submerged in cold.
cold plungy. I don't know. It's just different. I don't know how to explain it.
Okay.
Well, I'm not to the cold plunge part, but when I take my shower
Yes.
and I'm done, I will turn
take
the
a cold-
water to cold.
Yeah.
And at first I was probably at like 2 seconds and I was done.
Oh, you built up.
And then I think I'm up to 20 seconds now.
Because you were big into the, what is it, the Wim Hof method?
Right.
Yeah.
With the breathing and all that.
Yeah.
Because
I'm probably
he
not
was
saying
the
that right.
original
Where it's
cold
like-
plunger.
Yeah.
And he's in it for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's ridiculous.
That's the guy with the big beard, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, he would, when he got into it, he would like send me all these videos. And I'm like, great
That
theory.
guy does
I don't
yoga in the cold.
I don't wash my hair every day. So I'm not submerging my head in
Right.
cold water every day. I wash my hair like once a week.
Yeah, it's a whole hair situation.
I use dry shampoo. And I think at this point I'm gonna stop using Blake Brown.
Oh, snap.
Well, I mean, it's not life-changing hair shampoo,
Plus,
but
you got confused anyway with the hair. What was the shampoo? What was the conditioner?
Yeah,
her
it's-
packaging was shit.
yeah, it's terrible packaging. She really needs to go back to some market research because it's terrible packaging.
She needs to get her money back from her marketing company that she consulted with.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, I'm gonna try to cold plunge because I'm moving my sauna to my house, and I'm gonna sauna because I'm missing that part. But I don't have a cold plunge, and I'm so wimpy. I do a cold shower, and I'm talking like I may move it from 85 to 70, and I go, burr, and then I'm done.
is your water temperature controlled in your shower?
No, I'm just regulating it by my head. Glow Medical Spa is Mid-Michigan's premier med spa for skin rejuvenation and anti-aging. The trained nurses and estheticians at Glow specialize in non-invasive facial aesthetics such as toxins, fillers, and lasers. Glow is ranked in the top 1% of all providers in the U.S. for Botox and filler, as well as Black Diamond Icon status for Hydrofacial.
Glow Body specializes in body contouring with Ensculpt Neo, Emcella, weight loss clinic, and therapeutic massage. Book an appointment today at glow-skinspa.com.
So how many days a week are you gonna sauna blanket? Are you doing it you're not doing it every day.
No, but if you think I should, I will make time to do it every day.
Do you put that massaging mat I bought you underneath the sauna blanket so you're getting massaged while you're sauning?
I have not. I'm going to try that.
I think that sounds like a phenomenal idea.
Do you really think so?
I do.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. I mean, hello.
Would it cancel out the heating element?
No. It's
No,
just it just
I just wondered with that
vibrates.
thing being so thick, if you would really
Feel it.
feel it. I can
There's
try
only-
it.
Only one way to find out.
Only one way to try it.
So,
There you go.
is there anything we talk about on the podcast that when you're listening, you're like, yeah, I could do without that?
Yeah, hey, the whole Blake Lively thing. I could care less. I don't really know about the whole thing about all that P. Diddy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
And-
interesting.
And the thing of it is, you have to ask yourself,
Yeah.
is there something to that, or is that just,
Oh, no. It's
You
all
know,
true.
you just-
And it's,
yeah?
What,
Yeah.
the Diddy stuff?
yeah.
No, I believe that, but I mean, as far as like burning down the evidence and stuff.
Oh.
I mean,
know.
The thing is, and a lot of my friends think I'm nuts because I'll question something and I'll like, oh, come on, So, I mean, I got some buddies that, they take all their medications and for their cholesterol, and, how can you not take that, and blah, 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 blah.
But they're not doing anything to help their health.
Oh, God, no. No,
Right.
eating
Yeah.
their Eggo waffles and,
Oh, right.
cereal and stuff. And
Well, remember the hierarchy of the food groups that used to be, like when I was growing up, it was like bread,
right.
and then it was like wheat
Yeah.
and protein.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
vegetables
that's
and
the
meat.
South Park
vegetables
thing he
and
was
then
talking about.
Right.
meat. So now it's an inverse of that, which it should be, because
Well, see,
everyone
but,
was
but years ago, that's how it was.
Right, that's
and
what I'm
then it
saying.
got switched. So is that so that the food companies can make more money? Who
maybe
knows?
perhaps.
I think it's all
You know, I mean, hey, but
goes around money.
growing up, did I love Captain Crunch? Hell yeah,
Everyone
I
did. How could
I
you
like
not?
Captain Crunch. I like Tricks.
Tricks, yeah.
You know, and did I like just cornflakes or
Yeah,
bran
no,
flakes or
hell
what
no.
Yule Gibbons
I would
used
have
to eat?
grape
Oh
you
my
know?
nuts.
gosh, no, Grandma Geiger used to eat puffed rice.
Yeah,
Ew.
you know, did I like that? No,
I would put
liked.
spoonfuls of sugar
Same.
on it.
I would
Yeah.
do grape nuts, and then I was like, give me 2 teaspoons of sugar ASAP.
Yeah, exactly.
teaspoons. How
You
about
know,
tablespoons?
and
Pour it all over, and then be like, I'm shaky by second hour.
yeah. Oh, and
I'm in diabetic coma by the end of this.
and I can relate to that when you'd have donuts and all that stuff. And years ago I used to put sugar in my coffee, and
Yeah.
you know, if I didn't eat by noon, boo.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, I can remember. You were my dad was the first one that was all about the no sugar diet. And I remember him sending this to my sister and I. And I told Chris, Kylie was really little. Like, I'm going on a no sugar diet. And he's like, oh, that's
Good luck.
stupid. Whatever. So, you know, but then you would look at everything that was in sugar. So we would drink Coffee Mate creamer in our coffee. And I'd be like, well, not doing that anymore. I'm just going to drink my coffee black. And he's like, well, that's stupid. Because Chris would have Coffee Mate with a splash of coffee. Like, that's how he used to
got
drink
it.
his coffee. And then he was a big milk drinker. And, you know, I'd be like, oh, there's so much sugar in that glass of milk. And be like, don't worry about me and my sugar. Well, 2 months later, you know, I dropped some inches and some lbs. And okay, well, maybe there's something to this. He quit drinking milk and Coffee Mate, and he dropped like 30 pounds in a month. It was insane. Just puffy water weight from sugar.
Yeah.
So, but no, my dad was always like the top of the fad. Remember when you got into rollerblading? Big into rollerblading.
Well, the thing is, you know, when you
Love it.
spend hours and hours behind the wheel,
Yeah.
you know,
gotta
I mean,
get out and
you
move.
listen to different things on the radio,
Yeah.
you know, and you'd go to before satellite radio, you know, you'd be out in the middle of nowhere, especially if you were going west, and the only thing you get was like NPR.
Yeah.
You know, that was everywhere, you
Yeah.
know, and you're
Dr. Laura and AM
yeah,
radio.
exactly. You know, and you're learning like, well, maybe something to that. You know, there was another guy, oh, but don't drink diet pop. It's all the chemicals in diet pop and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, I guess it's pretty boring, but I pretty much drink coffee, black,
and water.
and water.
Yeah.
You know, and my little energy drink. You know, and that's
Oh,
That's
but
really
your
about it.
energy drink is apple cider vinegar
yeah,
And-
and then kombucha.
and kombucha.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah,
Sounds delightful.
yeah.
Not.
No, but it's amazing. He would get these concoctions or like this stuff that he would, you know, greens before greens were popular.
Yeah.
And chug down the most disgusting
know.
stuff. You know, but that had health benefits. And then I'd be like, here, try this cocktail. Ooh, no, this is gross.
Yeah, but you know, and the thing is, yeah, did I, fall into a lot of fads? Yeah, I did.
Well, see,
know,
this is where
but-
my dad and I would join a cult.
Right.
Would you
so
join a
this
cult
is
with
where-
Katie?
But now, you know, I guess the science is better.
Yeah.
And, you know, back then you really couldn't go against the mainstream because, boy, you would be canceled immediately,
Yeah.
you know.
I have a question. Would you join a cult with Katie?
But I don't think we would
In the
join a
90s.
cult
No.
knowing that we were joining
No,
a
you
cult.
wouldn't. Right.
You would join unknowingly.
Would we get suckered in
Yeah.
to something like Nexium? I mean, that
feel
is,
like you
I
would.
watched that documentary.
I feel like
and
if
I'm
you guys were reading the paper and you looked at an article that said, come join our club, we're going to talk about self-improvement and leadership, you guys would be like,
and
that sounds right
health
up my alley.
and wellness, and it's like, hey, the next level scarf. But then we would get competitive and be like, no, but I'm gonna have a yellow scarf. before you get a
Yeah,
yellow scarf.
exactly. I feel like you guys
yeah,
would
next thing
be
you know, we're in Scientology,
the sweet
right?
spot of their target audience.
No, yeah, no. There's weak points in our lives where we probably would have been like, you know, this sounds pretty good. We should probably join, see what happens.
No, there's a couple of things where you're kind of a chip off the old block.
Yeah. That would be one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched that documentary and I was like, oh yeah, no, I'd totally be suckered in.
And what is that?
Nexium.
Nexium.
I'll look it up.
NXIUM. IVM.
But what was it
NXIVM.
on? Was it like on HBO Max maybe?
I don't know. I watched it during the pandemic.
Yeah,
it was
have
a
my
dark
login.
time.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All of our logins for everything is like Katie, Chris, Mom, Super Dave.
You have your own profile.
He has his own.
Yeah.
I hate it when somebody logs into mine accidentally and it fucks up my algorithm. And then
Yes.
I don't want to watch all the shit you're watching.
Well, so it was funny because you know how sometimes you forget to log out of stuff when you check into like an Airbnb
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever. So then we were on my Netflix at one point and Kylie goes, oh, big Super Mario Brothers watcher. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Or it was like Mario Smash Bros. And I'm like, you really think I sit around and watch Mario Brothers cartoons? I don't know. But then now you can like go in and see where you're logged in.
Yes.
And log out. But it pisses me off because if they were to go into my younger episode and then you mess up where I'm watching, where Chris would go into my Paramount. Now that I do get from you. I use your Paramount login. And he would go under my name. Well, then I would go to watch Mayor of Kingstown and be like, I don't even know what's going on here. Like, this is what happened here.
Exactly. You don't want to keep track of where you left off.
Yeah.
You need Netflix to tell you where you left off.
Yeah.
I know.
I have a
get
question
it.
for you.
Yeah.
Do you believe in the Illuminati?
That has been the topic of our conversations for the last 3 episodes.
Yes.
What is it and do we believe?
Kind of do.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Who do you think is the head of
What
the
do you
Illuminati?
believe
Well,
in?
I don't know who the head is.
Who's they?
Yeah.
But you know, let's be honest. When you have a lot of money, that buys power, and you can kind of throw your money around to get the result you want to see. You know, now is that popular to say that? Probably not. But I really think
Doesn't matter.
Well, it's true.
I think
mean,
that
It doesn't
really
matter if
is
it's popular. Is it true?
That
Yeah.
that really is the case.
And who do you think is at the top of the pyramid of Illuminati? If you're thinking about if power equals money,
Not to be political, could be political.
Well,
You
can
can
cut
do
it out
whatever
if we
you
don't like
want.
it. So
All
go
right.
ahead.
So when COVID-19 started, okay,
let's get into it.
you know,
Ladies and gentlemen, the episode
Welcome,
is just
Dave
beginning.
Shane.
before
podcast.
that started, I
Okay.
could be wrong. And like you always say, hey, I'm not a,
Don't fact check
yeah,
me.
this could be all wrong. This is my perception. You
Yeah.
know, I'm old. He was in Davos, Switzerland with all
Who's he?
Trump,
Oh, okay.
with all the big shots,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know. And
big
you know
summit.
they flew there in all their private planes, and but we got climate change, but well, we can fly our private plane. Don't even get me started on that bull crap. And Trump is giving his speech. Trump don't believe in any of that crap. You know, he's a businessman. You know, and when he wasn't really going, his speech didn't really flow with, you know, the George Soroses and all those other people.
Now we have a
And
pandemic.
now we got a pandemic. And let's face
Interesting.
it, that really effed things up. And it stopped things. And
stopped the
I don't
world.
know if you, I mean, I'm like, can't even believe this crap, you know? And, you know, I'll be the first to say, hey,
Yeah.
anti-vaxxer.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
No, I get memes from my dad all the time where it's like a picture of the Munster family and they're in black and white. But then you know how like they had their niece that would be skin toned in her pink dress?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, oh, the one family member who didn't get the vaccine.
You know? And
I don't
yeah.
think that's such a thing anymore. I mean, I feel like there are a lot of people that are like, no, I didn't get it, or I got it because I had to go to work, and
Right.
then after that,
Right. And but really what a
shit show.
crappy excuse, right?
Yeah.
Because if we're going to really bring this even further,
Yeah.
right? So we have migrants coming into the country. They get vaccinated.
Yeah. No, but I
and
mean-
these people probably had absolutely zero in their country, and
Yeah.
they're coming in here, but that was okay, So
Well, but I worked for a doctor who was like, hey, it's mandatory. You have to get the vaccine. Now, at the same time, you could have fought it, but you had to sign this paper that was like, I'm not getting it right now, and I'm never going to get it because I want to do X, Y, and Z. There was one girl in our office who signed it, and she's like, I'm good, never leaving Midland ever because I didn't get the vaccine. And I was like, musicals are coming back around, and I really want to go to one, and you have to show proof of your vaccination.
but on the other side of that, we went on a 2-week cruise, and halfway through the second week, I got COVID on the ship. And they said, oh, you're going to be quarantined to your room. Well, you could have quarantined me to a closet because I couldn't get out of bed, And I was pretty sick.
No, you were super sick. Yeah. But then Mom, who really wasn't sick because she was in the room with you,
Right.
she was quarantined in the room with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that makes sense.
But I think she started actually first, and she had the J&J shot. And she was tired, but she wasn't, with the phlegm and all this stuff and the fever and blah, blah, blah. And coming home, we were... that changed completely.
Yeah. So they flew home, and then they were gonna, because they didn't want to leave a car in Detroit. So I drove them down, and they were just gonna rent a car back to Midland. But I mean,
there's no way
there was no way he was gonna be able to drive. So I just got a car service to bring him back.
And once that got over, I was fine. But before I did get sick on that, and you were vaccinated, you're not coming to my house, and and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Because I think it was Easter or something. You're like, I'm putting this stuff on your front porch.
No, well, I think it was still during COVID,
Right.
because you
Yeah.
you were like, oh, I'm going to Chicago to get my taxes done. And I'm like, you could get them done in October and there's no penalty. Like, you can wait. You could do it virtually. Like, you don't have to see your taxes.
But it's kind of a social thing for us because when we go back home, we see a lot of friends.
But you weren't
So a
supposed to be
30-minute
social then.
appointment takes like 4 days.
Oh, no, I was bamboozled. I mean, now that I know, it's fine. But
Well, everybody was.
Yeah.
I think that it was a shit show of a time. And no one knew what they didn't know. Like, it was a new thing, right?
Yeah.
So we all just tried our best to get back to what we knew as normalcy, and that was with people. And the only way you could be with other people is if you got vaccinated in that time. We didn't know what the side effects were. We didn't know long-term data because no one knew the long-term data.
Oh, yeah. But then it would be like, Chris would be like, Meko and I would be like, we're fine. We can get together. And Chris would be like, no, you can't leave the house. You can't do this, X, Y,
We were
and Z.
so paralyzed by fear. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, until turkey season came around. He's like, well, we're all going to be outside. And I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
If you could go turkey hunting with the boys, Meko, you're coming over. Yeah.
Exactly. And also, I think now looking back, how dumb were we?
So dumb.
Were you like, oh my God, you can't be in a room with somebody 6 feet apart that was so made up, by the way.
I wiped down my
outside.
groceries.
Outside, you're outside.
Yeah.
You're outside. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's over. Thank God that
Yes.
was 5 years ago. Can you fucking believe that was 5 years ago?
No.
It seems like yesterday in certain times, and certain times it seems like 25 years ago.
Right?
I don't think when I was working, time went by as fast as it does now. It seems like
But do you
I
think
get
it's
up
because
in
we
the
were put on
morning-
pause? Because then I remember, like, once everything started to go to normal, I had this phase of, I'm saying yes to everything. When someone would be like, oh, do you want to go to this concert? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And I'd be like, nah, I probably shouldn't get a babysitter or find somebody to watch Kylie. I probably shouldn't spend the money on that. And I was like, fuck it. I'm saying yes to everything.
Yeah.
Because if this happens again,
Right.
I don't want to say that I didn't live.
Right.
So...
True.
And now I just don't stay home. So, I'm all over the place. I got used to saying yes so
Yeah.
much. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Ask me now.
If you're not living, you're dying.
Right?
So true.
Are you ready to transform your body and mind? Rebar Fitness Studio in Midland, Michigan is what you're looking for. Rebar isn't just a fitness studio, it's a community where strength meets serenity. Whether you're flowing through a yoga sequence, sculpting with bar, or unleashing your energy in a work or pound class, Rebar Fitness Studio offers something for everyone. Their expert instructors create an inspiring and supportive environment that will have you reaching your goals and loving every minute of it.
Elevate your fitness journey, join Rebar Fitness Studio family today, and discover the workout experience you've been waiting for. You can go to rebarmichigan.com and use code LHTT15 to receive 15% off a punch card or monthly membership.
Is there anything on your bucket list of life that has not been completed that you're like, you know what, I really want to do this before I go?
Before I go where?
Well, just, you know.
With the Lord?
Yeah.
Well, not even that. You
No,
just get
no,
to
I
a
hear
point
ya.
that you can't, like, leave and do things,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Oh, no, he's living forever.
You
I mean, we're
are.
finding all the bionic shit and putting it in Super Dave. There's
Hey, Dave,
not
have
a
you
world
seen
I
that
could live without him.
documentary about it's called Don't Die? You got to watch it on Netflix.
He can't, because you want to know why?
He will do all
He
those
will start
things.
doing everything that
Watch it.
man does.
Watch it. It's called Don't Die.
And he'd be like, I can't come over because I just have to take my 4th round of supplements today.
Yeah. This
and
dude-
go in my cryo chamber.
Granted, he was a tech billionaire, so he can afford to do this. He spends $2 million a year on his health. So he does all of the tests. He does blood work almost weekly. He does all these preventative things, supplements, exercise, all of it to be able to, his goal is longevity. And he records everything. He goes to bed at 8:30, gets up at 4:30 or 5 a.m. just so he can take all of his supplements. It's
and
wild.
And that's fine, but what I'm also
But he's also not living, really.
realizing is that some people just have good genes.
yeah.
And they can do everything wrong, and they're thin, they're fit, active, you know, so.
Well,
but-
and then why do some people, they can smoke until they're 80, and
Yeah.
then some people, you know,
Yeah.
it got to them by the time that they were 40 or 50,
Yeah.
you know? So, yeah. All right, bucket
But
list.
bucket list, oh man. You know, we really enjoy taking cruises.
You do.
I like being on that ship. I like looking out.
Yeah.
I'm liking thinking that
Unpacking
the early
once.
sailors, why they thought the earth was flat, because you'll see a boat out there and then all of a sudden it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, holy moly. And you can imagine
They're
those
thinking it
people
fell
back
off.
then, they probably really freaked out, you know? And then we're in their port and they see his buddies on that ship. It's like, holy moly.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe the earth isn't flat. You know, we enjoy that.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to kind of coast along,
I love it.
you know?
Okay.
To say I have to do something. You know, like you going to New York, I've never liked big cities. I've never liked crowds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like you should do New York with me.
Your face.
No, but I'm not going to take you into Times Square to go see a Broadway show. It's not you. We're not doing that. We're hanging out in certain like little boroughs and villages. We're going to 100% amazing gluten-free
Yeah,
restaurants.
no, so that part is kind
You can order anything on the menu.
Yeah.
You know, like we go to New York and my friend Grace will meet up with us and she goes, I just don't know why you insist like you have to go to these restaurants. All restaurants here are amazing about that. And I go, there's something about not having to say anything to the waiter,
Right.
ask a question.
Yeah.
You can eat everything on the menu.
Right.
That's true.
And it's phenomenal. It's not like meh food.
And we kind of get that when we're on a cruise because they know I'm gluten free. So they'll bring me the menu for the following day and they'll say, pick what you want. And if I pick something that would have gluten in it, they'll say, let me see if we can make that without, or why don't you try this instead? Yeah.
See, but I wouldn't want to go on a cruise because if I'm having a good time, if I'm off the boat, I found a good spot and I'm having a great time and I'm not looking at the clock,
Yeah, no,
I can guarantee you
No.
You're
that
missing
boat is
your
leaving
boat.
without me.
Yeah, no, that.
You're missing
But then,
your part.
okay, but also there is this little like OCD part of me where it would be Chris was having a good time and be like, we have to go,
Yeah,
we have to go, we have to make sure we're on the boat, where I probably would not be able to relax.
Right.
And then his barometer is down because my barometer is off the charts in a bad, wacky way. So if you enjoy our banter as much as we do, show us some love. Like, rate, follow, and share us with your soul sisters, your friends, acquaintances, random strangers on the street, your mortal enemy, and your family. And hey, tell us what you want our next episode to be about. It's like it's girls' night, but it's for all of us. Cheers to laughter, insights, and moments that matter. Let's keep this party going. Well, I have questions for Super Dave. Do you have questions for Super Dave?
I don't, but I want to hear all of them.
Okay. We have established that you're a healthy guy and you have some of your rituals.
Yes.
Is there one part of your health ritual that you cannot live without?
Yeah, I like drinking my kombucha. I like the apple cider vinegar. In fact, the last trip we took, you gave us the little bottles.
Yeah.
And that's why I swore the cruise before when I got sick. I thought, well, that's the reason why I didn't have my apple cider vinegar.
So I want to know the recipe for that. So kombucha with apple cider vinegar mixed together.
Yes.
And you take it like a shot.
No, he
No.
drinks it over ice in a
yeah.
big Yeti cup.
Oh, okay. Wow, you drink a lot of it then.
Well, it's like probably a 12 ounce,
Okay.
get it at Costco.
No, it's a 32 ounce Yeti. He gets the kombucha, the Kirkland kombucha, out of the refrigerator section. And then what do you put, like a shot of apple cider vinegar in there?
Yeah, I just pour.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Shake it.
He puts it over
Yeah,
ice and just drinks it.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
his Yeti straw is stained brown from the
Right.
kombucha and the...
And you do this first thing.
Yeah, in fact, the next time I go to your shop when the girls aren't looking, I got to take some of those little Q-tip things. That's why I clean the inside of the straw.
You can have as many as you like. When do you take this? First thing in the morning?
In the morning.
Okay.
But you kind of drink it throughout the day.
Yeah,
it's not like you
right,
chug it.
Right. So when I start out in the morning, I have coffee black. That's a starter. And I want the fat from nuts. So I have macadamia nuts. I have Brazil nuts.
In the morning.
And I have walnuts. And I think of all those three nuts, I think the walnut is really the healthiest.
Okay.
And so that's how from there I go to kombucha. I may have yogurt. We get this Nancy's yogurt from a health food store in Mount Pleasant. So it's full fat yogurt. And I think it's like
best.
14 or 15 grams of protein in so I'll have that. And then, with you wanting to have bees and everything, you can go to the farmer's market and get real honey from,
See, he listens to the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, but it's just one of those things about doing it yourself.
So I'll put a little, sweeten it with honey.
Yeah.
And I think that does two things. I think it really helps with your allergies because the bees are from,
Your area.
we got Breckenridge bees, which I guess is as close as we can get to Midland,
Yeah.
right? So as opposed to bees from someplace else that's all full of sugar and crap like that. So, so that's kind of a mainstay. I really enjoy that.
Okay. All right. Oh, do you have something to add?
Oh, no, I was just going to ask, how often are you on TikTok? I'm intrigued.
Yeah, probably every day for a little bit.
What's your algorithm?
Yeah, I don't really know. Is it something that I did?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
kind of...
Okay, so here's the
What do you
deal.
follow
When
so
it
that
first
it shows
started,
up on your feed?
there were a lot of young girls shaking their stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't really, so I would just,
You scroll past.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't need that. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah, mostly guys
Fixing things.
do fixing stuff, hacks.
Okay.
No,
because once it realizes you have TikTok, it kind of goes off of what are you looking
For
up,
sure.
Oh,
and
I
not
know.
even
Oh,
not even on TikTok. What are you looking at
and
in your
Google,
phone? Yeah.
No, it's totally
YouTubing.
invasive part of your life.
Yeah.
There's no question about that.
So yeah, that and McCall McPherson. You're big into McCall McPherson.
yeah.
For thyroid health.
Yeah.
But yeah, so because my dad has taught me construction and how to do things around the house. So when we were at our place in Traverse City, there's these beautiful condos, but when you kind of know how to put the trim on around your home and do all those things yourself, you can kind of look around and go, okay, they did a really shitty job here. Well, I went to go plug in a lamp behind a chair and they did the trim. They left a 2-inch gap in the trim, in the corner of the room. None of it was motored together unless it was,
No, right.
A peak of the, a corner of the floor
Right.
that stuck out. I was like, this is an $800,000 condo and it's put together
Yeah.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you write to the company?
No, not at all. I was just very happy to stay there because it was a great location and I had a wonderful time.
See, and that's the trouble with you doing stuff like that.
Well, you always
And
said
you
it's a
have
curse.
you have an eye, and you can see. You can enjoy it. You look to see if something's messed up.
I don't
Yeah.
look to see if things are
No,
messed up,
yeah,
but when
you-
they pop up,
Yeah, you kind of do.
like stonework, I'll be like, yeah, that stone doesn't work there and it doesn't follow what they were doing. Okay, so my next question.
Yeah.
From a technology standpoint, what is something that we have now that you wish you had in high school? But then on the flip side, something that you're happy you didn't have in high school.
It's the both. The
Yeah.
the iPhone.
Yeah.
You know, it was a different time when in high school there were no answering machines for me. Mm-hmm. So when that phone rang, you didn't know
It
who was
just
going to
rang and
Yeah.
rang and rang.
you know, and then you'd answer it, and you know, it was for you, or it wasn't for you, or
Yeah,
if
right.
it was for you,
Or it was busy.
and then busy, or then somebody was expecting a call, you know, okay, get off the phone, get off the phone, get off the phone,
Right.
you know, that type of thing. Yeah, I think that. Oh, I think I would have known now. Oh, I could see why kids get in trouble.
So that leads into my next question.
Ooh, yeah. What?
Do you wish that you would have had Life 360 when I was in high school?
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
You do?
Oh, sure.
I always lied about where I
Oh,
was.
I know.
I
know,
would
but
say
what would-
8 times out of 10, I was not at Courtney's house. I was probably somewhere else.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember one time you were with Mandy, and you did. Maybe it was Mandy owned up that, hey, we weren't there, we were here instead. I
Okay,
forget what that
I
was.
would not have owned up to shit.
I
Mandy
know.
was the one with the conscience, and she
Yeah,
would have come
yeah,
forth. Yeah.
But-
So, okay. Okay, now after being on our podcast,
Yes.
do you think that you want your own podcast?
No.
And I, and
That was
I've
a
already
very
named it
fast
Deep
answer.
Thoughts and Trucker Smarts with Super Dave.
Oh, that's a good title. Yeah.
That is a good title.
Right?
That's a good title.
All right. Well, you gave a shout out to Jamie. There's another friend of yours that is an active listener to this podcast. You should probably say his name.
Chris Kiefer.
No. You told me that J Ray listens to the podcast all the
Ray
time.
does listen to the podcast.
Yeah, and that him and Bev they'll watch it together while they're having dinner.
That's really cool.
So-
Who is this? Tell us about him.
Oh, he was a trucker friend of mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where does he live?
He lives
live now?
in Yorkville, Illinois.
Okay.
And I met him on a job. He started, and within a day, he was my
Best
Meko,
buds. Yeah.
Yeah.
you know? And so even now, I can call him, and it's a short conversations, maybe an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
And you just pick up where you left off.
Exactly. And that's a sign of a good friend.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
So, and I'm very, very fortunate that I do have good friends that I think that if I was in a jam, I could call up and they would.
Every single
help
one
me
of
out.
your buddies, and they were like uncles to me.
Yeah.
Like growing up,
Right.
hands down, they'd be there for you.
Don't you think that's half of longevity, though?
I think it
Is
is.
having people.
I think it is.
Having people that you can rely on, having
Yes.
people that you can call, they can
Yes.
call you,
Yes.
instead of being like this lone wolf.
Right.
You have
know.
your health, and
Yeah.
then you have your friends or your people.
Yeah.
You know, and through my, working when I started out, I mean, I was a plumber in the service, and I was first a plumber and then fireplace guy, but my passion was always to be a trucker, but then always falling back on that when things either were slow or whatever, and I've done stuff for all my friends, and I just enjoyed doing that,
Yeah.
and something that would come easy to me,
It's
but I
very
think
intuitive for
everybody
you.
has their own talent,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
I mean, you put Chris in a field, he's going to eat like a king. Put me in a field, 3 days I'll be dead.
Right.
It's
Right. Everyone
just-
has a gift.
everybody has a gift.
But Chris is also not going to hang a curtain rod, so
no,
I'm going to call you.
No, but as far as when you think of that, curtain rod survival. I'll take survival.
You could survive in a
know?
different way.
Yeah. No, totally. Like you'd be able to, I don't know, build. I don't know.
You could build a house,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that.
and it would have no draft.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, It's been amazing having you on the podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's actually
Dave.
better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What
Okay,
did you
good.
think it was going to
I
be like?
don't know. I thought I would be.
No, you're great.
No, it's just a conversation.
No, it is, and you guys make it really, really easy.
Oh, thank you.
You know, and I love when I'm listening and you guys are laughing, and it's like I don't even understand what you're laughing about,
Right.
but I'm laughing
We
right
get
along with
it.
you. You know?
Doubtful that anyone else gets it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, that happens. Well, I
And
mean,
we love you, Super Dave, and we're
Yes.
thankful for you. And
Thank
thanks for
you.
coming on and
Thank you.
being our guest.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, maybe we'll have to have you back.
Maybe.
Well, we should have Deep Thoughts with Super Dave. You know how like Brunch with Babs has made it like super
Yes.
popular to like kind of teach people like how to be a hostess, things to do
Yes.
around the house. It needs to be like
How to
like,
fix your shit.
House smarts with Super Dave, like just little things.
Yeah.
Like,
Why
make
don't
sure
you
you change
start
your furnace
an
filter
Instagram?
or
You need to start an Instagram.
You think so?
yeah,
Yes. Like simple things, like she just said, like how to change your light bulb.
yeah.
I mean, it
there's-
sounds super dumb and intuitive to you, but like
Yeah.
sometimes you've been in my house,
Right.
Or what about like changing out your battery in your fire detector? What is that called?
Smoke detector.
Smoke detector.
Yeah.
But do all of them so when one goes off, you're not annoyed
Right,
and
right.
chasing it.
well,
No, actually, when it comes to your house, there are a lot of
See,
simple
the
things.
thing that people don't know about,
Yeah.
and then he'll be saying, "Well, Katie, you should have done this," and I was like, "Well, I don't know. The house didn't come with a manual that said we had to
Right.
do that, you know."
Yeah.
Right.
But that's common sense to you.
it's not.
That's
for
not
others.
common sense to other people.
We just go home at night and get in our jammies.
I just expect everything to work.
right.
Right. And it is nice when things work.
It's nice when things work.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I can't wait till next time.
Well, thank you very much.
Yay. Cheers. Bye.